All right, Stokastic, here we go. It's your old pal Emac coming to you on a Sunday fun day here. Having a good time, joined once again by Matt Bellman as we get ready to break down a wild slate. FanDuel gonna FanDuel. They're including the 1:35 through the 4 o'clock games for the first time. Since probably 2017, if memory serves. So this is going to be interesting. Yahoo already started their contest with the 12:05 game. 2 games are underway because on Sundays in Tampa Bay, they start these early. We're under a huge heat advisory here. I had to cut my walk short this morning. It was 86, feels like 96. There was no breeze, and I was starting to feel very, very chilled because I had sweat everything out of my body. So I came back and had some electrolytes. Matt, what triumphs and tribulations have you had this morning?
Not as many as you, it seems. Just dealing with a 3-year-old, which brings its own trials and tribulations upon me. But I digress. Yeah, rough night in the MLB streets last night, no doubt about it. Sonny Gray was awful. Zebby Matthews was not good. Sheehan was not good. You needed Kumar Rocker. I mean, you needed Rocker. You needed the Rockies. Rocker and the Rockies. So one of those nights. Back at it today. Early slate. I like these Sunday slates where the games start, within an hour of each other. So hopefully we can have a day today.
All right. So this is how we are going to break down the slate. We're going to focus on the DK slate. The answers for FanDuel, and we'll talk about the afternoon slate, but the answer on FanDuel is play a bunch of Minnesota against Terman Marquez and look to Hunter Brown and Brian Wu as the pitchers in Seattle. That's going to be your overarching build on FanDuel, but we'll talk a little bit about that. The rest of the analysis is going to carry through, but since DraftKings has the larger contests and they are the only rational site currently, we're going to focus on them. We have all sorts of aces on the slate today. A couple of them are pitching right now. We have Tariq Skubal in that ESPN Sunday Night Baseball game, but I think 6 of the top 9 in the best odds between the American League and National League Cy Young Award winners are going today. So Garrett Crochet is going to be the big talking point on the DraftKings side of things, but you have Bubic coming off an all-star appearance. Ranger Suarez probably would have made the all-star game, but did he make it, or was it Christopher Sanchez? I forget. One of them handed the baton to the other or something like that, declined to go. So you all still have Mackenzie Gore in the Remember Me spot against San Diego, who traded him, of course, for Juan Soto. You've got Nick Pivetta going against a Washington Nationals lineup, but it's very hot in our nation's capital. It's in the mid-80s with heavy humidity there. How are you feeling about the pitching? Because Garrett Crochet, he's only going against the Chicago Cubs.
Yeah, rough spot for Crochet, like on paper in terms of the matchup, but the Cubs aren't as good against left-handed pitching, and you've got really good pitching weather in Chicago. So I think Crochet is the clear top dog here. He's too cheap at 10-4. I get the matchup, but he should be much more expensive than every other pitcher on this slate. The ownership is there, but I'm fine with it. If you want to get off him because of the ownership, I get it. There are other good pitchers on this slate, but none as good as Crochet. So I think he's the clear top option on paper.
So is there who worries you the most amongst the hitters against him? Because we can pick them all apart, even though they are collectively a good lineup. They do have some holes there. Is it going to be Tucker and Suzuki?
Yeah, probably Suzuki in this matchup. Tucker is overall superior to Suzuki, but when you get a lethal lefty like this, you probably will be more scared of the righty. And I think Suzuki, wouldn't be surprised if 1 or 2 of these guys got him. He's probably not going to throw a no-hitter, but I just think his strikeout upside combined with the pitching conditions here just makes him the best play on the slate.
All right, I'm going to drop a FanDuel link here in the chat. This is a 100-man contest here. It's a $2 3 max 100-person. For this contest specifically, it hasn't filled yet. There are 46 spots left. If you win this contest with a Stokastic avatar, I will get you a 1 week simulation package for MLB. So there's your bonus offer. Since I don't have the ability to generate promo codes, I'm making this special offer to you guys. But you got to win it with a Stokastic avatar. You got to tweet at me, so I know that you won, because I'm not going to go chase it down. But it is your gateway into 1 week of the MLB Sims package. Easy enough. What's even easier for those of you that are interested in a little sports wagering is that you can check out the what do we have here? We've got Portfolio EV, which has a free trial in the YouTube description below us here. You can get that for 7 days free if you've not signed up yet. That is Portfolio EV, the top-down sports wagering model that we use to pit the various sharp books against each other and see the value plays emerge. This also supports the social wagering sites of ProfitX and NoVig, as well as Pick'em sites. So, guys, check that out. That is Portfolio EV. All right. After Crochet, who is your next most comfortable pitcher to go to? Because the Sims, if you're using the single lineup Sims on DraftKings, they're giving you Crochet and Gavin Williams. I don't know that I like Gavin Williams. We'll get to him, Matt, since you have special insights for your Cleveland Guardians. But which lefty is it for you? Is it Bubic? Is it Suarez? Is it secret option C? Is it Mackenzie Gore? Is it Andrew Heaney against the White Sox? What do you got for me?
For me, it's Suarez. So I do think that it's murky. That's why I like Crochet the most, because he's like just the clear top dog here. After him, you can throw a couple guys in as the next best option. I get Gavin Williams. Good pitching weather in Cleveland today. He's cheap. A's strike out. I mean, that's a nice combo. So I get Gavin Williams. I think he's totally fine as an SP2 here. I like Suarez if you can make it work with Crochet. I think he's, it's not the safest spot for him here against an Angels lineup that has right-handed power in this ballpark and good hitting weather. But Suarez, just to me, is the second best pitcher on the slate. I guess you can make a case for Pivetta also. Those two guys after Crochet. Suarez has just been really good. You look at his underlines; they're really good. I watched a lot of his last start against San Diego, and he did not have his good stuff. He still came out of that start with like 18 fantasy points. Damn impressive in my mind there, like in a really tough spot. So I'm going to go right back to him here. I like Suarez a lot. I don't think you have to sell your soul to get up from Gavin Williams to Suarez, but if I can, I'd prefer to.
All right. So Suarez is growing on me as I'm building out lineups today. I wrote up in the Spotlight Pitchers and Top Stacks article, I went with Bubic here. He's coming off his first all-star appearance. I believe he give up like a home run, and he didn't have a very good outing.
Yeah, he did.
Correctly. They gave up 3 runs. I think it all blends together at these points. But the key thing about him is he has continued to improve this season. Across 18 starts, he has almost 9.5 strikeouts per 9 innings. He's allowing only half of a home run per 9. Now, I like the per 9 numbers. I know a lot of times we like to look at the percentages as well. Those are pretty fun. If we look at the advanced metrics that support his 2.48 ERA, that's a pretty good ERA. He's got a 3.10 xERA, a 2.75 WHIP, and a 3.40 xFIP. Pardon me, that is a 2.75 FIP, not WHIP. Those are all phenomenal numbers that are being supported by him. He really only has a few players or a few hitters that are of any great concern here for me. It is, let me reset this and get the actual lineup. My apologies. I still had the placeholder there. It is going to be Agustin Ramirez, who has good power, but he does strike out above league average. It's Dane Myers that's a little worrisome. He strikes out only 12%, and it's Eric Wagaman. Now, Myers has a little bit more time in the show under his belt compared to Wagaman and Ramirez, but there's only 3 hitters I'm worried about. Now, there's not a lot of strikeouts in the rest of the lineup, but there's absolutely no power in the rest of the lineup. Nobody else has an isolated power above 100, save for Heriberto Hernandez. and I'm not worried about him. So I like Bubic here a little bit more than Suarez, but I think it's a coin flip. Do you? I know you said you like Suarez, but how close did Bubic come to outpacing him?
Not close for me. Like, I get it. I get it. Like, I don't think they're close in the top pitcher tool, like very close. They're back to back. I haven't liked what I've seen from Bubic recently. At the beginning of the year, he was pitching over his head, and I think he's come back down to earth. This is a nice spot for him against Miami, but Miami's been pesky. Like, yeah, I mean, I don't think it's on paper, it's a better spot for Bubic. I just think right now Suarez is the better pitcher. So in that sense, it's a toss-up, as you mentioned.
Yeah, and that's fair. And in over his last 6 starts, Bubic has allowed multiple runs in each. He has played the New York Yankees and the Dodgers in Kansas City, and he was in Arizona for a start in 3 of those 6. Those are 3 of the top 4 offenses in the league from a run scored perspective. So he's played some top competition here. But I agree, he did start out in like a house of fire here, but he is still, I think, a decent pitcher because I like the lack of power, and I like the Miami environment as opposed to being outside against all the righties in Citizens Bank Ballpark. But we're kind of splitting hairs here. Splitting hairs in a good way, I think, compared to last night where it was like, what did we say? I don't know who you should play today. Now we've got choices. Yesterday was just awful. I like how I spoke into existence by specifically calling out Ozzie Albies and Michael Harris II for being bad with power, and they each homered yesterday. That is an amazing talent. I wish somebody bet both of those guys in a parlay. That would have been like a gazillion to 1.
Yep.
All right. Back to present day here. As you continue down the list here, how are you feeling about Pivetta, Mackenzie Gore? They're kind of the next tier, in my opinion.
I like them. I don't like them as much as Suarez. So I like Suarez more. I mean, Gore, again, kind of like Bubic. I think he's better than Bubic, and ultimately I'm buying Gore long-term. I'm not really buying Bubic long-term. But in this spot, like, I'm not rushing to pay over $9K for Gore against the Padres team that doesn't strike out and is good. They're not great, but they're good, and they don't strike out. So no thanks. Pivetta, I don't hate it. I think he's a little bit overpriced, and I prefer Suarez, but him, Suarez, Bubic, all pretty similar. I like him over Bubic. So for me, it'd be Suarez, Pivetta, Bubic as far as how I would rank them. But I like Suarez more, and Suarez is cheaper. So pretty easy decision for me with all 3 of those guys because Suarez is the cheapest one of them.
All right. Are you ready to do a little bargain diving? Well, what do you think about David Peterson? He's the last guy before we get into the bargain option.
Really thought hard about Peterson. He's not a guy I play a ton, but more lately I've been more open mind to it. Coming off a good start before the break, I'm fine with it. It's not good pitching conditions here, and there is risk against the Cincinnati lineup, but he's good, so I'm fine with Peterson. I like him over Pivetta and Bubic at their prices. He's like 3rd or 4th for me behind Crochet, Suarez, and maybe Gavin Williams. Him and Gavin Williams are close for me.
All right. I was looking at Portfolio EV this morning. You guys can get the 7-day free trial if you click in the YouTube description below us here. And I was looking at writing up the under on 4.5 strikeouts for Peterson. Ultimately, I couldn't get to it. I ended up going with Soriano in against the Phillies. It wasn't as good of a number, but to pay out. But I felt that was a little bit better because as I dug more and more into Peterson, I felt that he would be closer to getting 5 or 6. He's still at his salary is a little bit tricky at 8,600. It's a little bit of a price break, but we've got some significantly lower salaries on DraftKings that the simulations like more. So he is kind of the forgotten man, if you will. And you can see that with this 7.3 projected ownership there in the large field tournaments. As we go to the bottom here, we've got Andrew Heaney, not in great form, but if there was ever a team to be a get right spot, it is going to be the Chicago White Sox. Bottom 3 in power, strikeouts, pick a measure. Are you going to get any Andrew Heaney in your limited lineups today?
Nah, I'm on the other side. I like the White Sox in this spot. Heaney's not been good. He's back to his old form where he's given up home runs. So, no, the White Sox are hot. They haven't been on the main slate the past couple of days, but they've scored 10 in each of the past 2 games. Luis Robert is seeing the ball well, which is big for this lineup. I'm on the White Sox here. I'm not on Heaney. If I were playing 150, he'd be in my pool, but that's it.
All right. How about Jeffrey Springs popped up in a couple simmed lineups that I was making?
I would play Springs over Heaney easily. Same price, basically. I don't mind Springs. Good pitching weather. He's under 6K. You know, if you're paying for Springs, or if you're going for Springs, paying down for Springs, I should say, you're likely spending up for big bats. I don't hate that on this slate. I think that's a fine call.
The back of the lineup is just is pretty iffy for the Guardians with Jonathan Rodriguez, Will Wilson, Austin Hedges, and Brian Rocchio. All in the red. Nolan Jones also not very good. He's batting 5th, not very good in lefty matchups. Springs, we've talked about him before. He was sort of a late bloomer, came out of Texas with the Rangers, had a couple moments with Tampa Bay, and then ended up getting 3 separate injuries that kind of took out two and a half seasons for him there. So now he's in his early 30s, and kind of the window has closed. He's in that crafty lefty phase of his career, but it doesn't look like he's really going to get a breakthrough. The concern on him this year is his strikeouts have been way down. Across 460 batters, 19% combined strikeout rate. Last year, smaller sample size, he was up in the 26% strikeout rate. That's kind of where he was living when he was having his breakout. So hopefully he picks it up a little bit in the matchup today. But again, you've got 6 hitters that strike out 30% or more against lefties, rounding up for Jonathan Rodriguez and Rocchio, who are both a tick under 30%. But there's a lot of strikeouts here. So I think I'll get a little bit of Jeffrey Springs. I am building out some single lineup sims here on DraftKings as well as FanDuel. I did not learn my lesson from yesterday when I had upload issues, Matt. But hey, what happens when you touch the hot stove? You can touch it again. The hot stove isn't going to tell you to not touch it. All right. What else is there here? Jansen Junk. Would you roll the dice there? Would you consider a Cade Horton in your lineups? Where do you draw the line?
I'm not playing Jansen Junk. Very, very low K prop, and I'm not completely buying what he's selling, but he's been much better than a 6K pitcher pitching in Miami against a not great Royals team. So I don't hate it. I'm not playing it, but I think he's fine. After that, not much else. Cade Horton, in play. I mean, I don't have strong feelings about it. Top pitcher tool likes him quite a bit. Under 7K. Like, my first instinct is to want to play Springs over him at basically the same price. Or no, I mean at $1,000 cheaper, I should say. But again, really good pitching weather. Horton is a guy that came in with a ton of pedigree as the Cubs' top pitching prospect. Hasn't been great, hasn't been bad. So yeah, I think your Horton call is worth a shout.
All right, and that's again strictly an SP2 on DraftKings. He's also fine on Yahoo if you still have not finished building out your lineups, even though those contests locked almost an hour ago. I'm just looking at Horton. Yeah, 7th pick overall out of Oklahoma. Got a $4.5 million signing bonus in 2022. He was the 3rd ranked prospect for the Cubs. This is his expected graduation year to the pros. He has a future value of 50 overall rank. He's just outside the top 50 on most of the standard industry lists that rank the top 100 prospects. So pretty good guy of note there. I wanted to see who ended up making that Boston lineup because the 2 guys I was waiting on, I wanted to see what Boston did and what Atlanta did. So Boston, they've got Jarren Duran leading off. Roman Anthony batting second. Cedane Rafaela is third. Yoshida fourth. Story fifth. So they've got a pretty pesky lineup. No terrifying people in there really, but they do set up much better against righties than they do lefties. The one piece I wanted to look at for Atlanta, not that we are going to be going with Marcus Stroman, but did they give Marcell Ozuna the spot? Yes, they did. So they're giving Sean Murphy the day off, and Drake Baldwin will be the catcher. All right. Quickly moving the tool over here to FanDuel, just because they are including the 4 o'clock games, something they have not done in many, many years. The sites used to do that on Sundays, but they got away from that about 6 or 7 years ago. We can see that the top pitcher percentage is incredibly flat here on FanDuel. So I would go away from Crochet and look towards Hunter Brown and Brian Wu, because they are in the Pacific Northwest in T-Mobile Park. It is going to be in the mid-60s during this 1 o'clock local start in Seattle. Good pitching weather, and of course, the most pitching-friendly venue in the league. So that, to me, gives those guys the slight edge over Crochet. And you can see they're all separated by $300. So none of these are bad picks. I just lean toward, this is my personal preference. You can see if we look at the projected ownership, it's Gavin Williams coming in here again. God, why is Gavin Williams getting all the love, Matt?
He's 7,100 against an A's team that strikes out. He's going to be really popular. I mean, he's going to be in higher dollar stuff, like close to 50% owned, I think.
This is actually a decent strikeout lineup for the A's because Urshela and Schumann are in. So their lineup today has a 21% strikeout rate against righties on the season. It was, I think their projected lineup was like 23.4 or something like that before they ended up with this particular iteration. So
knocked down for him, you're saying?
It went down from where I thought it was going to be. It's still decent, but it's 21. I think of 21% as just kind of neutral strikeout rate. The other thing is only Nick Kurtz and Denzel Clark have above league average strikeouts. So that I like to pick a few, like, I can't remember who the pitcher was last night, but if you get a pitcher that has 3 or 4 spots that he can get his strikeouts in, even if it's against a good team, and he gets, each of those crappy guys 1.5 times, he can still cobble together a decent outing. There's no real gimmies in this lineup aside from Nick Kurtz, as long as he doesn't make a mistake and watch it go out of the park. All right, shall we look at the stacks?
Let's do it.
Okay. Do you want to go by game, or you want to just look at all the stacks and just talk through each one you like?
Well, whatever you think.
Let's talk about each stack.
Cool.
We'll go that route. So looking, and we'll hit the FanDuel one at the end. So the clear top two are Atlanta and New York. I wrote both those teams up as the play in the free Spotlight Pitchers Top Stacks article that is available every day on Stokastic. You have Grant Holmes and Marcus Stroman taking the mound today. If we look at Stroman, he has logged 24 and a third innings over his 6 starts. He has career worst 5.6 strikeouts per 9, 4.5 walks per 9, and 1.5 home runs per 9. That's giving him a devilishly bad 6.66 ERA. His advanced metrics are about a 5.6 xERA, a 5.6 FIP. He is just bad all the way around. I still think we skip Albies and Michael Harris, but the top of that order looks really good. The Braves ended up being number 1 for me.
Albies is red hot right now.
I know. I'm dancing with the devil in the pale moonlight, Matt.
I just don't think you want to certainly just say skip him hitting 5th.
Bring it. What's he going to do? Hit home runs on back-to-back days?
Yeah, and he stole the base yesterday too. No big deal.
God. So who is your top stack? Is it the Braves? Is it the Yankees? Or is it someone else?
I think those are the 2 top stacks on the board. I think those 2 are going to garner the most ownership. It makes sense. I mean, they both look really good. Good hitting weather. Stroman is a guy that probably shouldn't be in the majors right now, only in the Yankees rotation because of their injuries. Holmes is another guy that's come back down to earth. So, yeah, I like both of them a lot. I don't think they look like the Twins and Coors, as we'll get to. And there's other stacks I like quite a bit at lower ownership, like the White Sox. I'll just throw them in right now. Excuse me. Heaney is not good, in bad form. The White Sox are in good form. Good hitting weather here, and they're really cheap. And I like Crochet and Suarez. So, I mean, can't lay it out much cleaner than that.
Let's see. So I dropped that link into chat there for the Spotlight Pitchers top stacks. Key things to know: that was a wild comeback last night for the Yankees, who scored 12 runs from the fifth inning on, including 4 in the top of the ninth. Ended up winning 12-9. The Braves' 3 best pitchers, including their closer Rafael Iglesias, have worked Friday and Saturday. Maybe they come in a high leverage situation, but I would think the manager probably prefer not to work somebody 3 days in a row. Not impossible since we're coming off of the All-Star break. But every pitcher except for Dane Dunning, who was recently acquired from Texas, has worked once over the last 2 days. New York, on the other hand, has seen every member of their bullpen work once in the last 2 days, except for Scott Efros, who worked both days. So they should be mostly fresh there. But I wanted to look at those bullpen arms because we have Grant Holmes on the other side here. He was the MLB, MILB lifer, the minor league lifer, the Crash Davis of pitchers. Took forever to get up to the majors. We have used him a few times here because he's had great matchup, good prices, and just the way the slate broke down, where he had a couple double-digit strikeout games, but he is not that good of a pitcher here. So which of the Yankees do you want to focus your attention on?
Top 5 for sure. A lot of outfielders in there, but Bellinger has first base eligibility now. So top 5. Dominguez leading off, power, speed, upside. Judge, obviously. Bellinger, Jazz, and Stanton. And Stanton's cheap. So, yeah, a lot to like about the Yanks here, no doubt about it. They're affordable. So are the Braves. Profar leading off, Acuna hitting third. Both teams look really good. I expect pretty high ownership on these teams with Crochet and Gavin Williams pairings.
All righty, let's look at this here. One last ad read. We have the that's Portfolio EV. I want to give you guys the link join because the link join here is how you can get free DFS sims, a full month of DFS sims for the sport of your choice. Probably going to want to pick baseball right now, but you could probably defer if you ask nicely to the support staff and save it up for football. But if you sign up for any of these sites here on the screen, click through our button. If you don't click through this button, it doesn't count. Not only do you get their promotional offer, but if you follow the simple steps up here by signing up through our link, deposit, place a bet, take a screenshot of your welcome email and your first settle bet, email that to sport@stokastic.com and tell us which sport you would like the single lineup or the single sims package for. We will get that to you. And we have a new addition here, Want a Parlay. That is a pick'em site here, 100% deposit match up to $250. I'm telling you, if you're not clicking through this button right here, you're doing it wrong. Just wrong. All right, give us, you mentioned we've hit on some of the higher end stacks. How many lineups are you doing today? 4?
3.
Who is the Matt Bellman? I'm playing him. I don't think you guys have to, but I'm playing him stack of the day.
The White Sox. Easily.
Okay.
Yeah, the easy peasy right there. I like them a lot. Heaney's not good right now, especially.
Top value stack. Is that what's drawing you to them?
Yeah, they're by far the top value stack. They're also 5th overall in the top stack tool. So that's really high for them. They're under-owned. They have the 3rd highest stack score on the board, behind only the Pirates, actually, and the Braves, ahead of the Yankees. So they're cheap. I like expensive pitching. Bada bam, bada boom. I mean, it's an They're easy to stack. I like their entire lineup if you're getting there because the bottom of the lineup stinks, but they're cheap. So, yeah, I like it all here.
Doug Dubs was asking specifically who you liked on the Pale Hose, and the answer is play everybody, it sounds like. I like this. This feels like the Matt Bellman gets back on the horse and rides to victory day.
I love where your head's at. I mean,
the slate. It's a modified Bellman. All the games are almost going off. There's only one 2:00 game. They're all going at the same time. Matt, I hope you're hiding in the man cave. Did you time your daughter's nap for this to all work out?
No, I didn't. But
I think I hear her coughing. Does she need a little Benadryl?
I'm hoping my wife needs a nap also, and they just go down together. Pray. Let's pray.
All right. What in the middle do we see here? Do you want to take Pittsburgh against Aaron Savale? Do you feel like there's any leverage stacks here? Not really against Crochet, but against any of the other pitchers. What else are you seeing?
I like Pittsburgh here. Yeah, they look good. Savale's not good. This game has really good conditions for weather or for hitting, conditions for weather. Hot, wind blowing out, 2 weak offenses. So won't be shocked if both teams stink because it's the Pirates and White Sox, but man, it's also Savale versus Heaney. So yeah, I like both offenses here. I prefer the White Sox, but I like both.
All right, jumping over to FanDuel. Let's take a peek so we can see what happens when we include Minnesota into our plans. It looks like Jackson Merrill has been scratched. All right, here we go. FanDuel. So we can see that just absolutely dwarfing, doubling up Atlanta and New York combined, it is going to be Minnesota. They, of course, are taking on Herman Marquez. Injuries have really gotten to Marquez. At one point, he was someone that was always fun to target on the road because he was a good SP2 that oftentimes was undervalued, especially on the DraftKings dynamic pricing algorithm. Why is my computer not updating? Or you can still hear me, right?
I can.
Frozen. Okay, perfect. Let me close a few tabs. Probably have a couple too many open. Oops. But at this point, sorry, lineup page. At this point, it's a little tricky to give any sort of credence to Marquez. The first question I'm going to ask you, good, we do have that lineup. The first question I'm going to ask you, would you roll out Joe Ryan on the FanDuel slate, considering we have Crochet, Hunter Brown, and Brian Wu?
Wait, repeat that question.
Would you consider Joe Ryan as a pitching option on FanDuel today in light of the fact we have 3 better players? Do you want to, is that getting a little too fancy?
I would consider it. I don't think it's getting too fancy to consider it. I don't think it's getting too cute to use him. I do think that you're understanding when you play him, you're bypassing projection and the floor is lower than normal with him today, but the ceiling's not. So yeah, I'm fine with it. I think the other guys look better, but he's good enough where I don't think you're getting too cute ever to use him.
Okay, because the back 4, Yanquiel Fernandez, Austin Nola, Orlando Arcia, and Kyle Farmer, not particularly daunting there. If we look at the lineup going against Herman Marquez, Royce Lewis, man, shame. Too many injuries. Did he forget how to hit home runs? He's all the way down to 8th. Ty France is batting 5th, mostly just to break up the lefties, but he is all contact, no power. But the lefties look good. Harrison Bader looks good. The FanDuel algorithm said, hey, you guys are in Coors Field. It's the Twins. We're going to give you the BOGO. Buy one, get one. Get it? The Twins are at nobody is $4,000 on FanDuel. Nobody is over $3,600 on FanDuel. It is, in some cases, ruining the slate on FanDuel. How many lineups would you build before they weren't centered around the Twins? And I know it's a tougher question since you're not focused on this slate and it's only a one-pitcher site.
Yeah,
but
I mean, how many lineups would I have to play to not be focused on the Twins? Not that many, just because it's MLB. Like, they do look the best, but there's other good offenses today. So I think they're the best stack, but that's a tough question to answer just because I don't think you're crazy if you're playing one lineup to not play the Twins, just because it's MLB, et cetera, et cetera. That said, they look like the best stack. So I want to play the Twins here if I were playing on FanDuel.
All right. I remember I don't have a promo code, but if you go to my article, this is only for those of you that are watching on the show if you haven't read the article. Sometimes we tuck promo codes, and I never know when they're going to do it. But today, in my article, if you use promo code EMAC15, you get 15% off any MLB core or maximum weekly package. Check that out. Not a bad deal, but there you go. So we've looked at the slate. Who are you worried that is not making your three lineups?
Gavin Williams, definitely.
Gavin Williams.
Yeah, he looks really good at 7,100. I mean, massive upside here. So he's the guy.
All right. Who is the player that you think, aside from the White Sox, that you have that the other gamers are sorely missing? Any off the board, but say it differently, any off the board conviction plays that have made your lineup?
Yeah, a guy, I just think he's way, way too cheap. When you look at his underlying numbers and his historical numbers, Brian Reynolds, 3,300. He'll be my answer to that guy there.
Ooh, okay. Well, just for that, I did build out, funny that you mentioned, let me see if I can find it. I built out a pirate stack with Brian Reynolds here. I ended up with Andrew Heaney as one of my pitchers, but I've got Crochet, and it is coming out as a 46.7% sim ROI. I even have two of your Cleveland Guardians in the lineup. Not too bad.
That's pretty good.
I will accept that.
Especially with Heaney.
Yeah, I wanted to do a Heaney lineup to see what it looked like. Now I'm going to build one that has we'll do Reynolds, Horowitz, and Gonzalez here, and let's see what. I'm sure it'll give me Crochet and Gavin Williams because it's just Gavin Williams is the play today. So to make things fun on my lineups, I'm also going to pick against Gavin Williams. So again, I'm doing the single lineup sim here, guys, and this you can spend hours with this because it is so much fun. Let's go with Rooker, Butler. We'll take those three guys. Who do we want at our? We'll just let the single lineup sims give me some Atlanta. Oh, Matt, the single lineup sims is giving me a two-man White Sox grouping.
Love it.
You could be onto something. Now I need to build a little White Sox lineup.
You know who I don't understand on the White Sox isn't getting more love? Edgar Quero, 2,800, hitting third. Like, I think it's because David Fry is a little bit cheaper, but man, give me Carroll all day over Fry. On the road, no pinch hit risk, not nearly as much pinch hit risk as Fry, who will get pinch hit for in a close game. I like Edgar Carroll a lot. He's another conviction call you just kind of put me on.
How many is too many? Would you do a 5-man or would you cut it off at 4?
I would do a 5-man White Sox. I mean, you're playing against Heaney more than anything else, you know?
Love it. I love it. I'm going to do a 4-man here. I'm assuming Sosa made your cut.
Yeah, he did.
All right. Now, here's what I'm going to do, chat. I'm going to put in Mackenzie Gore and where is Pivetta and just see what it gives me after that. And if that's a decent lineup here. This should be pretty unique, but let's see if it sims out well. Well, only 2.4%. Nothing overly exciting there. Let me look at chat. Chat, throw out a stack here. Let's build a fun one here. Let's do an Atlanta one. While you guys are giving us some. love. Hit that like button. We have almost 500 people watching and almost 100 likes. That would be awesome, especially since your old pal had to run a horrible set of lineups yesterday when my upload did not work. Sometimes that happens. Those are the risks we take by playing volume and being on air. It can be a little dicey at times, but we love it. We want to be here for everybody. So there we go. Oh God, it's really working in Sosa. It loves Sosa at 2,600.
Yeah, it does. Definitely does.
Here we got Brian Reynolds and Sawinski as well. So those are your value plays as it continues to slam in. Gavin Williams, is that 15 lineups? Let's do one, the last one. Let's do the Yankees, and then we'll take a look at FanDuel here. So the Yankees, you said you liked the top 5. Let's go with Chisholm, Bellinger, Rice at catcher, Dominguez, and why not Judge? Now let's see what that does to my pitching. I'm guessing it's going to have to give me a cheapie or two. Nope, still manages to give me Crochet and Williams. Let's see how that sims out. And look at those uploaded because, money. We've got 20 minutes. Wow, that's a long time before lock here. So the late slate, if you're playing it on a DraftKings, you just get the 3 games on the late slate. If you're playing it on Yahoo, you get Sunday night baseball included. The stacking options that you're going to want to look at, and you can always look at the Spotlight Pitcher Stop Stacks article because I write up the Sunday afternoon slate, the slate that everybody else in the industry ignores. I got you guys covered and for free. There's two teams that you want to target. You want to look to the Los Angeles Dodgers, who are taking on Quintana in Chavez Ravine. Quintana in his last start actually did hold his own against the Dodgers, but I do not expect him to be able to work his magic a second time. The other lineup I like is going against Miles Mikolas. Mikolas, boy, I don't know how many more times we're going to get to tell his fun story, but he kicked around San Diego, Texas, and then he was in Japan for 4 seasons before he came back, triumphantly returned to the St. Louis Cardinals, who took a chance on him. And that season, 2018, he made his first of 2 All-Star appearances. His best asset is 5 of the last 6 seasons. All 5 of his healthy seasons, he's made at least 32 starts. Twice, he has led the league in hits allowed, Matt. Hits allowed. That's not a category you want to lead the league in. He is definitely someone to pick on. I think he is his better days are long gone, but he is someone I think we can attack on the afternoon slate. So those would be the 2 lineups I would look at. We're looking at FanDuel here. So this is just running an unencumbered, sort of your preferred lineup, if you will, your what is the word I'm looking for? Your optimal lineup with no parameters. It's going to be Crochet and it's going to be Minnesota. So we know that Minnesota is going to be everywhere. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pick the other pitchers that I like and just let it keep jamming in essentially that same lineup over and over. I'm okay with that because this is kind of a prove it slate. I want people to show me that they're going to make the right decisions. And I think the right decisions are really focusing on 3 or 4 mans from Minnesota for today, especially in the 100-man leagues. It looks like you guys did fill up that 100-man league on FanDuel. So if you win that special designated league, send me a screenshot with your Stokastic avatar and you winning it, and I will get you a week of all access MLB sims. Pretty good deal. Pretty good deal. Let's take Bubic. And let's do one last one. Let's see what it likes. It's not, let's go with Joe Ryan, just because. Yep, see it very consistent, giving me Castro, mixing in some Wallner, Sawinski popping up again, Ronald Acuna Jr. Those are the plays we are getting to. What else? What else do we have, Matt? With our last 15 minutes, I'll look and see if there are questions. I'm going to upload these lineups so I don't get screwed like I did yesterday, and then I will build out my remaining 150, and we can get on out of here. This is going to be
you did a nice
day.
breakdown of the late slate. I think we're seeing this main slate pretty eye to eye. So, guy that the Sims like that I never like, but I guess I'm on him today is Michael Taylor.
Michael A. Taylor is still in the league. That is just wild.
Yeah, it sucks. And I don't particularly like playing him ever, but White Sox stack against.
Where is he batting? Is he batting ninth or is he?
He's batting ninth.
Okay.
But like, if you do and I've been on it all morning, like the single lineup sim, if you have like a couple spots left in the outfield and you allow the tool to to complete the lineup, it'll give you Taylor and whatever outfielder fits. Like it likes Taylor a lot at 2,300.
All right, we're building a 5-man pit stack here for Chris Albers. In return, I don't have to sing the Dawn of the Day song. Let's go with Cruz, McCutchen, Gonzalez, Reynolds, and I guess Horowitz. Completing the lineup. Oops. It's going to give me Crochet and Williams because, of course, Fry's in there, Bobby Witt Jr., and who's my other one off? Jazz Chisholm. Let's take a peek and see what that gets to. Now, I'm going to want to play this lineup too because you don't want to. Oh my God, 62.9% ROI.
That's solid.
Wow. Let's export that and get that into my lineup set because Chris Albers, we going to Sizzler, baby. I hope we're going to Sizzler after this. Did you ever watch the remake of White Man Can't Jump?
No,
I didn't. I didn't think they needed to remake that movie.
Yeah, the original, freaking amazing.
Original is
just
Sizzler. So good. We going to Sizzler.
Yeah, it's so good. What's her name? Rosie Perez.
Rosie Perez.
Yeah, she's so good in that. The Jeopardy. She's so good in that.
All right. There it is. Too many spreadsheets open now. Okay, DK main slate. There we go. Okay, we'll get this done because I'm putting all my money into Chris Albers' play here.
Into who?
Chris Albers in chat. He wanted that lineup that I'm now putting into my DraftKings portfolio. All right, we got 14 minutes. Let's run some FanDuel overall sims and see what happens here. So I should be sharing this. We're going to the contest generator. If you win that FanDuel contest, this is the tools that you'll get access to. Going to create my stacks here. This is mimicking what is going on in the field. So I am just tweaking a few things here. I know that how we have our default setting is more realistic for what the field is going to do. So the only thing I'm changing here is I'm accepting all of the player projections for fantasy points, for popularity, the ROI stuff. I'm taking all of that. The only change I'm making is just how it's configuring some of the stacks. Otherwise, it's going to be pretty representative for the pool. Now, the point on the sims is if we sim out, a bunch of shitty teams, those teams, once you put them back into the wild, are going to get their ass kicked, even though they have a huge ROI against the other shitty teams we've built. I say shitty to just catch your guys' attention. I don't usually swear on shows, but that's why you don't want to put your thumb on the scale too much when you're doing this part of the simulation. Let me see. Is it? Oh, it's not sharing. Let's share this tab instead. Sorry. So once we do that simulation, then we choose the lineups we want. This is where we can say, oh, I want 5-man stacks. Oh, I only want this team. Oh, I want to ROI boost this squad, etc. That's what makes the part fun. Now, we're doing that sort of when we use the single lineup sim, but you saw, because it doesn't have randomness, because it's just trying to build one lineup, it's going to keep giving you the same players and the same combinations over and over and over, unless you start putting in, like if I didn't want Crochet and Gavin Williams, I should have put 2 other pitchers in there, because the sims are just going to give those to me. So it's not like an optimizer per se, but it's kind of a hybrid model there. But it doesn't have all those same bells and whistles, because we're all about the sims, not an optimizer, because we know the sims are going to get you a better ROI. But that's just the single lineup sim is just a way to look at things one at a time. So we're getting a lot of Gavin Williams. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to break this down, and I'm just going to do a bunch of 20% on these guys. Now, what you'll see it's not giving me is the afternoon pitchers, which I do want some more than what I have. So I can go in here to the ROI boost. I can give, let's give Hunter Brown a couple clicks, and let's give Brian Wu a couple clicks. And let's see what that does. So now we'll go back here. We'll unfavorite and we'll refavorite and see if how that changed things. So So now I'm getting 12%, not really getting much Woo. So to do that. So I'm going to give him a couple more clicks. And you want to be careful with what you do, because depending on where the players are, what the other balance is, you can really end up over influencing things. And that's why it's easier just to go up in incremental slots. Hopefully that makes sense. Makes more sense if you're watching on the screen as well. So now we got 16% Brown. I'm good with that. 3 times the field. Woo, I guess I'm really not going to get that much. I'm okay with that. I'll live. Let's see what we have for stacks. Ton of Arizona. Wow, that feels a lot. A lot of Pittsburgh, a lot of Atlanta. We're not getting much New York. Okay, so that's something I'm going to go change. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to downplay Arizona a little bit. I'm going to upplay. Look at that. Hardly any Colorado against Ryan. That's okay. I want a little Atlanta if it'll give me any against Gavin Williams. And what was the other one I said I was unhappy? I didn't. Oh, New York. Wish there was a filter on this, because the old tired eyes can't catch that stuff fast enough. All right, I'm going to go back and look at chat here. Put your questions in there, because we got 10 more minutes here to cover everything for you guys. And I don't want to leave you hanging. There we go. Look at that. Get Atlanta up there. Still a lot of Pittsburgh. I lost my Arizona, though. Went to Arizona. Where'd they go? 3rd. Okay, perfect. Unfavorite. I made 6 lineups. Now I'm going to take 144. Put those into my tournament. Upload, so I don't have to do what I did yesterday and lose money. Today I will lose money with the lineups I want to lose money with. Well, hopefully I win, but you get the point. It's never fun. You do all that work and then your stuff just doesn't come to fruition. Pain and suffering. And upload. All right, someone asking about weather. No real weather concerns there. Potential for humidity showers here and there, but nothing that should be impacting starting pitching. What else do we have? Late to the show because of work, Patrick Fitzgerald says, best stack for a small field single entry. Matt is very high on the White Sox. Do you want to hit a couple notes on the White Sox for Patrick Fitzgerald?
They're cheap. They're in good form. Good weather for hitting in Pittsburgh, and Heaney stinks.
All right. Sir Charles has Bubic and Gavin Williams as his pitchers. I think that is a reasonable approach. I wrote up Bubic today in detail, scuffling a tiny bit heading into the All-Star break, but having a great season. It was a first-time All-Star. Charles Moran also says Rosie Perez, do the right thing intro. Rosie Perez was a good actress. Good actress. Dick Togo says, I know it's Togo. Togo says, Emac is hilarious. Chris Albers, drinks on me. What else do we have? Yes, the Fred Van Elite contest. Those were fun. Dong of the day is Bellinger. That is for Stephen Leibowitz. Who is your home run of the day? And why is it Luis Robert?
Let's go with Miguel Vargas.
Oh, okay. I think picking Atlanta is probably not much of a degree of difficulty. Let's go with no, that's not fair. CJ Abrams, a Remember Me home run. Done and done. Chat, who do you have for home runs? We'll read some of those off. Jose Ramirez. That's a good play. Willie K, I highly agree. Obi-Wan says Otto Lopez. Rance likes O'Neal Cruz. Yeah, O'Neal Cruz looking good in the fifth hole there today. Hit the like button. Oh my gosh, we got almost 120 likes. I bet we could get 150 likes. That would be something we haven't done on a Sunday. We still have 300 people in there. Hit that like button if you have not. It's a good time. Fistula Poop says good save there. Spencer Steer for Aaron Hines. Otto Lopez for Mohammed Ba. Casey Leatherwood, the Casey Leatherwood, says Ozuna. Dub K says Ellie De La Cruz. Ao Kimbrough says Bobby Witt Jr. Van Dam, New York City says Suarez. Yabo Goodgreens, Carlos Correa. What else do we have? A couple more Acuñas. Rants with Eugenio Suarez. He had 2 yesterday. Maybe he gets another one today. Everyone on the Angels going yard. I hope not. That's a personal attack on you, Matt, and your Ranger Suarez. I feel slighted on your behalf. Are you going to accept that? You're going to take that from these people?
I've heard far worse. Trust me.
I bet probably things that aren't allowed to be said on YouTube. So we won't say those, but we will say get into the Stokastic Hall of Fame. Download the Stokastic avatar, upload that to your DFS site of choice. And if you win or get top 3, no chops, top 3 in any contest with at least 5,000 entries, you will get a full month of Stokastic Sims All Access Premium if you tweet that Stokastic avatar and screenshot with your winnings to Stokastic HOF on Twitter. Lofty will induct you into the Stokastic Hall of Fame, and all will be good in the world. That is the Stokastic Hall of Fame program. Nightbot has been dropping that into chat. I will do so as well. And then we are going to get on out of here. You guys can follow Matt on Twitter at Fantasy Tips Matt. You can find me at EmacDFS. And of course, it is Stokastic_COM. With that, gamers, good luck.